Hey there, I am Edgar Wright, and this is my second time in the Criterion Closet, and I'd like to talk to you about some of the films I didn't talk about last time. Let's go for Black Narcissus. This movie is I think one of the greatest color movies of all time. There's one particular shot towards the end of the film with Kathleen Byron, which in my head that is probably is minutes of film, when in reality the shot is only on screen for less than 2 seconds. And it's a shot of Kathleen Byron coming through a doorway, and it's part of an incredible climax, which I won't spoil if you've never seen the film. But it's one of those shots in cinema is ingrained on my brain, like a lot of Powell and Pressburger films. I think it's just a picturesque quality to it, which is just somehow difficult to pinpoint exactly what the magic of Powell and Pressburger together is. But that's, I think, the thing is sometimes these are the films that you keep returning to, is you can't kind of define exactly what it is about the film that keeps you obsessed. You just keep coming back, and this is one of those movies. Okay, I already have it, but it's going in the bag. I'll give it to someone else. I'll be like Santa. I'll just go up to somebody in the street and say, you should watch this, Black Narcissus. Let's talk about this film, Something Wild. Jonathan Demme, in his career, excelled in many genres. I think this is a particularly sort of striking film to me because tonally there's something about this film that I think is really special, jarring, but also makes complete sense in terms of the story it's telling. Also, there's just amazing things, like even just the end credits of this film, with a live performance over the end roller, is something that I find just really inspirational in terms of Jonathan Demme, in the best way, seems like he's having so much fun making a movie and including everything he loves. Extremely memorable, and this is a film I return to a lot and I love it. Let's talk about A Hard Day's Night. This is not my hot take on the Beatles being a great band. I think that what I'd like to say here is that Richard Lester is a vastly underrated director. Part of that British New Wave, post-French New Wave, people inspired by European cinema and just breaking all of the rules. And Richard Lester, in all his films, is as a very experimental and joyous in his use of music and comedy. And then this film is capturing lightning in a bottle, manages to get the Beatles at the height of their charm. And it's more than just a collection of musical set pieces. I just think Richard Lester is somebody that deserves a lot more love from film fans. So if you've seen this and like this, you should also check out his other films. The Three and the Four Musketeers by Richard Lester. Highly entertaining, and I'm definitely going to steal this at the end of this session. I'm going to bring out this, the BBS Story, America Lost and Found. I mean, on this, you have The Last Picture Show, you have The King of Marvin Gardens, you have Five Easy Pieces, you have Easy Rider. But the film that I'm sort of obsessed by is Bob Rafelson's debut, the Monkees film Head, co-written by Jack Nicholson, no less, 85 minutes long. And I've already picked Hard Day's Night. Head is a very different proposition. It's a fascinating film. The Monkees were coming off the back of two massive kind of seasons of their TV show and several hit albums. And then Head was a very bold and potentially kind of suicidal attempt to completely deconstruct the myth. It is a movie about four young men trying to escape from their network contract. But then there are incredible musical sequences throughout it, one of which, the performance of Circle Sky on stage with the double exposures, is just it's just pure cinema to me. I really, really love this movie, and I love the Monkees. So I highly recommend this box set. An incredible box set, but I really recommend watching the Monkees film Head. Let's talk about The Earrings of Madame de... by Max Ophuls. Ravishingly made, and so sort of delicate and detailed in every aspect. And yet, even though there's this kind of sort of Fabergé egg feeling to Max Ophuls films, they're also really funny and really playful. And this film in particular, I think, kind of doesn't quite break the fourth wall, but does a lot of interesting sort of tricks throughout, one of which is that you never find out the madam's actual name. So if you haven't got on the Max Ophuls train yet, I highly, highly recommend it. Like, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time for me. And last but by no means least, I love that the Criterion Collection included the work of Jackie Chan. This is a box set of Police Story and Police Story 2. Oh, I'm on this. I completely forgotten about this, actually. Yes, I'm actually on this DVD. But Police Story 1 is one of the greatest action movies of all time. And what's interesting about this film is that Jackie Chan had come to Hollywood twice at this point and had not had a good experience because he felt compromised and felt that like his attempt to break into the Western market had not gone so great, and he hadn't been allowed to make the films in the way he usually made them. And so he goes back to Hong Kong, he makes the first Police Story, and it really feels like Jackie's revenge. And like the climax in the shopping mall is an incredible set piece, but that wasn't the reason I picked it. The reason I picked it is because I heart Jackie.